Welcome to Peaceful Pottery for Sleep. This video is 49 minutes long, and it's designed to help you relax, to soothe your mind and your soul with a little bit of art, a little bit of watching the meditative process of making pottery, and listening to my voice, speaking to you gently, calmly about the art that I make, about meditation, and about relaxing. I hope you enjoy. To begin, maybe try lying down. Putting your head back, your feet up, and take a deep breath. Make sure you're breathing deeply, filling your lungs with that clean, fresh air. And when you breathe out, try to push all the air out of your lungs. Really fill your lungs up. And when you breathe out, vacate all the air from your lungs. Do this a couple of times. Relax with me. Try doing it really slowly. Controlling your breath as it goes in. Hold your breath when your lungs are full, just for a second. And then release that air slowly and controlled. Now that we're laying down and a little bit relaxed, let's talk about art and pottery. You can see me here making little cups on the wheel. Pottery is a really meditative practice. I enjoy it so much. One of the things that's really special about it is you have to remain present to do it well. What I mean by remaining present is that you really can't think of too much else. You're thinking about right now instead of going into the future and wondering what's going to happen next, or your mind wandering into planning your next meal or what's happening later. Instead of reflecting on the past or thinking about your childhood or thinking about that thing that someone said to you yesterday, instead of all of that, when I'm making pottery, I'm thinking about what I'm doing right now. I'm focused on it. I'm concentrating. I'm thinking about my hands and the pressure they're placing on the clay. I'm thinking about the feeling of the clay in my fingers. That soft, wet, kind of slimy, but wonderful clay in my fingers. I'm thinking about my foot because it's controlling the speed pedal for my pottery wheel. And I'm thinking about the pressure that foot is placing. I'm also thinking about my arms. Are they balanced and solid and tight? Are they supported on my legs? I'm thinking about my legs. Are they solid Because in order to make pottery, you have to be very still. Your body has to be very solid and still and controlled. If my hands are moving a lot while the wheel is spinning, my pot would become wobbly and uneven, and it wouldn't spin so smoothly on the wheel. This is one of the hardest things to learn when you learn pottery, how to keep your body very still, how to focus on all parts of your body, to concentrate on all of these things while you're trying to form the clay into something meaningful. It's hard to do. We make it look easy, potters, because there's a point when you figure that out, when your body becomes so still and it just kind of shifts into this groove, or it's like a moment of zen. It's a really wonderful feeling when your body connects with the clay on the pottery wheel and you are still. It's a wonderful feeling. It is a lot like meditation in this way. If you've ever tried meditating, in my experience, it takes lots of practice, because in our daily lives, our minds are busy. We're thinking of so many things at the same time. Our minds are stimulated constantly. We're doing things constantly, driving or going to work or preparing meals or eating meals or talking to people or buying things, going to the store. There's so many things that we have to do every day in our day-to-day, and our minds are constantly moving with that. So meditating takes a lot of work to slow that muscle, or maybe it's actually to build a muscle. Our minds are caught in this movement pattern, and we have to strengthen this muscle to hold still. So on the pottery wheel, it's very similar. We learn to hold our bodies still. It's kind of interesting, actually. It's a bit of a tangible metaphor. No, it's not a metaphor. It's a tangible practice of meditation. So instead of with your mind, you're doing it with your body. You're meditating your body. It's a fun idea to think about. So in my experience in meditation, after practicing and practicing and practicing and feeling like I'm getting nowhere all this time, but after a lot of time of practicing, I experienced this moment where my mind shifted and it felt like Zen, really. Maybe you've experienced this too. It's a wonderful feeling when my mind just kind of slipped out of those movement thought patterns and rested and became still and was nothing. My thoughts were nothing. They weren't even, I can't even say my thoughts were, because they were nothing. It's hard to explain. You may have experienced this before. It's amazing. It's the words for it. This feeling is like light. It's relaxing. And it's light in many different ways. It's light as in feeling lightness. My body felt, my everything felt light, because there was my mind was nothing. But there was also light in the sense of sunlight, radiation of energy that glows. I felt that too in the moments when I've meditated and achieved the goal. And that is the goal, right? It feels almost like winning. But once someone told me that when we make that our goal, it defeats the purpose. I'm not sure if that's true, because for me, that's my intention, to get to that point of Zen or Nirvana where my mind is nothing and my thoughts are nothing and I feel light. That is the goal. That's what I'm trying to do, what I want to do. I think sometimes, though, when we want something so much, we have a tendency to think about it, to obsess about it, to ruminate about it. And that does defeat the purpose of meditation, right? We can't want to achieve it and think about wanting to achieve that Zen moment in meditation while we're meditating, because that desire actually becomes more activity and more movement in our minds. So we have to let go of wanting to achieve the Zen. We have to let go of wanting to meditate and actually just practice it. Just be. It's fascinating to think about. And I wonder, does this translate to pottery? Wheel throwing? Perhaps, actually. Because if you get attached to pottery, to your outcome, if you get too attached, it can be really devastating. Pottery is an art with a low success rate or a high failure rate. And I say this because there are so many variables, and a lot of them are out of our control. Or if, for example, 10 variables need to be successful or need to be in a good state for your piece of pottery to come out of the kiln, the final firing, successfully. There's actually more than 10 variables, but let's just say, for simplicity's sake, there are 10 variables. One of those variables may fail, and it could cause a cascade with the other 9 that decrease the odds of success. But sometimes it can still succeed with one variable off, and it depends on the degree that it's off. My point is, there's so many opportunities for failure with pottery that we cannot be attached to that outcome. Not too attached. It's okay to have a goal and work towards it, to do the work and put in the steps. But we learn as potters, we learn that it may not always succeed, and often it won't succeed. And you just have to be okay with that. You can't be heartbroken. Well, you can, but you have to get over it if you want to make more pottery. You have to be comfortable with failure to be a potter. Some of the variables are not just on the wheel, what I'm doing right now. There are some there too, though. But a lot of them are in the firing process. Things can fail in the firing. Kilns are complicated. It goes to a very high heat. There are so many factors. You need consistent fuel or electricity or firewood. Again, so many factors. And sometimes you may have done everything perfectly, but at that final stage, something goes wrong and you may lose it. You may lose your piece that you may have spent hours upon hours making. So that's what I mean. We have to be comfortable with failure. That's what I mean, that we can't get too attached to the outcome when we're making pottery. And maybe, to bring this back to the analogy with meditation, maybe this is similar to not planning your goal, not having that goal when you're meditating, not being attached to achieving Zen. Knowing that, having a plan in the sense that I'm sitting down to meditate and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to clear my mind and I'm going to practice, exercise that muscle and clear my mind. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to think of nothing. And not being attached to, I will think of nothing. I'm going to get there. But just going through those steps and those motions. There's something similar to that with ceramics and pottery. You learn the steps that you need to take to succeed, and you repeat them. You practice. You do them again and again. You practice on making your body still and solid. You practice on learning what the clay can do. How far can you push it? How gentle do you need to be with it? How strong do you have to be to get this piece of clay to do what you want? You have this plan. You practice. You exercise. And work towards it without being too attached to that outcome. Are you asleep yet? If you're not, how about you breathe with me for a minute? Let's breathe in through the nose. Breathe in slowly, steady. Fill your lungs. Feel your chest expand. When it's completely full, hold your breath just for a second and then let the air out through your mouth. Slow, controlled. To control my breath, I like to put my lips together and blow almost like I'm blowing out candles on a cake, but not quickly, not fast, just slow and steady. Try this again. Breathing in, slow, steady, fill your lungs. Hold your breath at the top just for a second and then slow release the air through your lips. With your mouth closed a little, control that breath as it goes out. Let's breathe in through the nose, slow and steady. Hold your breath. And then release through your mouth. Slow and steady. Let's do this a few times together. Breathe in. Hold your breath. Release through your mouth. Breathe in. Hold your breath. Breathe out through your mouth. If you'd like to, you can keep doing that while you're watching this video, while you're listening to me, while you're thinking about meditation, while you're relaxing. Maybe also think about your body for a moment. How do your shoulders feel? Are they tight? Are they relaxed? Either way, why don't you wiggle them? Wiggle those shoulders. Push them up towards your ears for a second. Hold it tight. And then let them down. Push them down away from your ears. And then relax. How about your arms? Are they doing something? Are they moving? Are your muscles tight? If they are, try relaxing them. If you're not sure, try tightening them just for a second. Tighten your arm muscles. You can also squeeze your hand into a fist, count to 3, and then let go of all of it. Sometimes it is hard to tell if we're relaxed, if our bodies are relaxed. And that's one of my tricks. I will tighten whatever it is and then let it go. And then I know for sure now it's relaxed. How about your face? What is your face doing? Are your eyebrows furrowed? Are you scrunching them? Scrunching your eyes? Are your eyes closed or are they open? Let's try that exercise with our eyes right now. Squeeze them really tightly. Squeeze them shut. Scrunch them up. Scrunch your eyebrows. All tight. 2, 3. And then let go. Relax. When we tighten our muscles, we actually restrict the blood flow ever so slightly. So there's something beneficial about taking a moment and tightening and holding that, counting to 3, and then relaxing. When you restrict that blood flow and hold it tightly and then release it, and the blood goes rushing through, or your circulation goes rushing through, it's almost like a mini massage. You're forcing the movement of the circulation to be a little stronger for a minute, a little more dense, a little more of a push. None of this is scientifically based. I'm actually repeating things that I've learned in my yoga practice. It makes sense to me, and I feel it. Maybe you feel it too. There's also a sleep practice or a sleep aid of doing a body scan from your toes to your head, or from your head to your toes. Doesn't matter. Or you could go both. Start from your toes, work your way up to the top of your head, and then work your way back down. With this body scan practice that I've learned, the sleep aid, you think about the part of your body and then you actually move it and tighten it. And then release. And move to the next part. So for example, think about your toes. Wiggle them. Feel them move around. Now tighten your toes. Squeeze them all. Curl them. Tighten. Hold it. 2, 3, and then let go. Now think about your entire feet. Your heels, your tops of your feet, your arches, and move them, wiggle them, and then tighten them. Count to 3, tighten, flex, and then let go. Then we move our way up to our ankles. It's hard to tighten your ankles, but if you can tighten them. Count to 3, and relax. Then we think about our shins and our calves. Imagine them in your mind. Move them, flex those muscles, and tighten those muscles. 1, 2, 3. Relax. Let's keep going. This process of this body scan is helping us be aware in the moment, like I was talking about earlier with pottery and wheel throwing, being fully aware in the moment of everything I'm doing, only in that moment, focusing. By doing that, I achieve that Zen. By doing this body scan and thinking about your toes, your feet, your ankles, your shins, we're next going to go to the knees. By thinking about these things and tightening them and releasing them, we're also really present in the moment. We're focused, and it makes it harder to think of other things. It makes it harder for your mind to wander. You're here right now with your body. Nothing else exists when we're present in that moment. So right now, I want you to think with me. Think about your knees. Think about your kneecaps, around your knees. Think about what muscles are there. There are muscles there. They exist. You may not use them. You may not think that you use them, and they may not be defined. But that's okay. Those muscles are still there. So I want you to think about your knees and think about where those muscles might be on the sides, the kneecaps. It's okay if you have to tighten other muscles in your legs to tighten your knee muscles. But I want you to tighten them. Tighten, feel the backs of your knees, your kneecaps move a little. Tighten, squeeze, 2, 3, and then relax. Let it go. And are you still breathing? If you're not, or even if you are, let's take a deep breath together. Let's do it through our nose like we did earlier. A nice controlled breath. One way to control your breathing in through your nose is to push the back of your tongue up against your sinuses in the back of your throat. So when you breathe in, it's kind of going squeezed through your tongue. Give this a try this time. So we're going to breathe in together. 1, 2, 3. And when your lungs are full, I want you to hold your breath Just hold it tightly for a second, and then we're going to breathe out of the mouth. Controlled, lips are a little bit closed, breath coming through our mouths. Let's do this again. Breathe in controlled through the nose, slowly. 2, 3, and hold with your lungs full. And then release through your mouth slowly. Let's do it again. Breathe. Hold your breath and release through the lips. When you do this, I want you to feel your lungs expand. Feel your chest expand. Your body should be moving as you breathe in deeply and breathe out. Let's do it again. Slow breathe in. Hold your breath. And then release through your lips. 2, 3, 4. We left off thinking about our knees. So now let's think about our thighs. Our muscles between the knees and the groin, everything that's there. Imagine it in your mind. If you want to, you can look at that part of your body. But think about it. Where are those muscles? The muscles are on the top, on the side. Squeeze them now. Tighten them. Think about them and tighten them. You may also feel your shins and calves tightening and your butt muscles, and that's okay. But focus on those thighs. Focus on your glutes. I don't know the names of the muscles. Focus on those muscles between your knees and your groin. Front and back. Squeeze and then release. If you're not sure if you've completely released, my legs are often pretty tight. Sometimes I'll give it a little shake. See if I can turn my leg into jello. And then I'll do it with the other one. Give it a little shake. Is it jello? Is it wiggling? Jiggling? If you can jiggle it, it's usually loose and relaxed. Now let's think about our butt, our bum muscles. We use them a lot. We sit all day and walk all day and stand all day. We do all these things with those muscles, and they're often very tight. So they're really hard to relax, but let's think about it and try and relax. So think about your butt cheeks. Think about your hips, that whole area, and tighten. Squeeze, tighten, squeeze, and tighten, and then release. Do you want to do that again? That felt really good for me. I think I hold a lot of tension in my butt muscles as well, my glutes. I know these are called the glutes. Let's do it again. Let's think about our butt muscles, our glutes, our hips, and tighten and squeeze. Hold it tight, tight, tight. Keep holding it as long as you can, and then relax. Make sure you're still breathing while we're doing this. We don't want to hold our breath while we're tightening, because when we hold our breath, we're actually tightening our lungs as well, when we really want to focus on that one area of our body. So let's move to our tummy now. Think about our tummies, our belly area. Imagine it in your mind. You can close your eyes and think about it. And Now let's tighten it. Think about those muscles and tighten them. So mine are tight right now, but I'm still breathing. You should be able to still breathe while you're tightening your stomach muscles. Hold them nice and tight. Hold it and then relax. Let's take an extra deep breath, nice and slow. Let's move up to our chest muscles now, or our abdomen. We can do it all together. If you are aware of the distinction between your muscles, take extra time to do this for yourself and get the whole area, get everything. For me, I'm aware of my chest muscles now, and I'm gonna think about my chest muscles, that whole area, and do my best to tighten them. That actually means I'm squeezing my arms a little too, but that's okay. This is how I know how to tighten my chest muscles. I'm tightening, I'm holding, 2, 3, and relax. Now let's think about our shoulder muscles. Mine are always tight, especially when I work on the wheel for a long time. So with the shoulder muscles, I like to tighten them by pushing them up towards my ears. And I squeeze them, push, 2, 3, and then let go. Making sure I'm breathing still. Now let's think about our backs. Think about the back, your muscles all over your back, shoulder blades, even the lower back. Think about it as a big blanket of a bag. Think about your entire back and tighten it. 2, 3. A little bit more. Are you getting the whole thing? And then relax. If any of these tightening and relaxing motions feel extra good to you, do it again. Listen to your body and do what it asks for. It feels really good to tighten those shoulder muscles. Do it again and relax again. Now let's not forget about our hands and our arms. So important. Let's start with our fingertips. Our fingers. Wiggle them on both of your hands. Move them around. And then let's tighten the fingers. Just the fingers. If you can isolate them. Squeeze those muscles, tighten, stretch, and then relax. Now let's do it with the entire hand. Maybe you want to put your hand into a fist. Maybe you want to just clench the whole thing into a claw. Tighten your entire hand, muscle, all of it. For me, the fist feels good. So I'm tightening, 2, 3, and then release. Making sure I'm still breathing in and slowly out. Now our wrists, maybe try rotating our hands so our wrists are moving, and then tighten those wrist muscles. We can push in the one little direction. For me, I'm curving my hands inwards, just pushing, tightening just a little bit. I don't want to feel pain, but I want to feel it tight and then relax. And the forearms, that's a difficult one for me to isolate, but I'm going to, actually I feel like if I squeeze my fists a little bit, squeeze my hands a little bit, I can feel my forearms tighten. I'm squeezing, 2, 3, and then let go. Let's think about our biceps, the part of our arm between our elbow and our shoulder. Tighten those. Think about them, move them, wiggle them, and then tighten, tighten, tighten. Hold it, and then relax and release. If you're not sure if your arms are completely relaxed, give them a little shake, a little wiggle. Are they jiggly? Are they soft and limp? If they're not, you can shake them a little bit more. And make sure to place them gently and relax them again. While I'm doing this body scan, I also go back and I do a check. Are my legs and my feet still relaxed? Is my bum or my glute muscles still feeling soft? And have they let go of that tension? So just keeping my awareness, doing an awareness scan as I'm moving up my body. So we've done the legs, the belly, the butt, the chest, the shoulders, the hands, the arms. Let's move on to our throats and our necks. One way to get awareness is to move it. Roll your head a little if you can. Gently rolling. Think about your neck. Feel your neck. Be aware of your neck. Where are your neck muscles? Think about those and then start tightening them. Maybe you need to swallow to feel them completely. Tighten, tighten, tighten. Feel, think about, and then relax. Are you sure it's relaxed? If you're not, try rolling your head again. Roll it around, move, maybe even give it a little shake. Now let's move on to our scalps. It's hard to move the muscles of our scalps, but I think a lot of people can. Think about your scalp. So like from your ears to your top of your head, imagine it and think about it. And then try moving it, try wiggling it. Can you move any part of it? For me, I'm also moving my eyebrows around. I'm wiggling my ears a little bit. In the back of my head, I'm trying to move a little. If you can now, just tighten all of that. Everything that you used, tighten. And then relax. Are you sure it's relaxed? If you're not, wiggle your head, jiggle your head. Now, lastly, let's do our faces. Let's do our lips. Feel your lips, think about your lips. And tighten them. Purse them, squeeze them, count to 3, and then let go. How about our jaw and our jaws and our teeth? Tighten and squeeze. And then let go. Are you sure you've let go? If you're not sure, or either way, try shaking your jaw a little, jiggling it, letting your jaw hang loose. Shake your head a little and feel if your jaw is jiggling. Do all of this very gently. We don't want to hurt ourselves. We don't want to push anything too far. Just a little jiggle. What about our tongues? It's very difficult to relax your tongue. Think about your tongue. Stick it out of your mouth. Wiggle it around. Now tighten that tongue muscle. One way I do is to push my tongue to the roof of my mouth really hard. Do that and count to 3. And then relax. You probably also felt your jaw tighten. So maybe give it another little jiggle, wiggle. Is your tongue loose now? Give that a little jiggle, wiggle. Let's move on to our eyes and our eyebrows and our foreheads. Think about them together. Imagine them. And then tighten, squeeze those eyes closed. Squeeze your eyebrows, furrow your forehead. Move it up and down, count to 3, and then relax. Do they feel loose now and relaxed? If you're not sure, you can give a little jiggle, a little wiggle. And let's take a deep breath again. Let's go in and through the nose. Hold that breath just a little bit, and then out through the mouth. Let's breathe again. In through the nose. Hold it, and out through the mouth. If you are still awake, I hope you're very relaxed. I hope your body feels soft and gentle, almost like it's floating on whatever surface you may be laying on. Are you on your bed or your couch, sitting on a chair? I hope that your body is almost sinking into the surface, falling deeper into the sheets and the blankets, falling deeper into the mattress. Maybe your body is so heavy and so relaxed and so dense that it's actually sinking into the matter. Maybe you're half an inch deep into the surface of your bed. Maybe now you're so heavy that you're a full inch into the surface. Are you becoming one with the bed? You are melting into the bed. When we sleep, I think that we melt into existence, or into non-existence, into non-awareness. We soften and we melt. Our senses of self no longer exist. We become one with everything. Just like with pottery, we become one with the clay when we learn how to really master this art. I am the naked potter.